Oh, hi, ceiling fan. You'd never betray me. So, back to hospital world with us. Our goal is firmly marked. We need to get back up to the second floor hallway and back to that one room that we unlocked. Yeah, that, like every other room in that hallway, is completely randomized as to where it's going to appear. Sometimes you find the key before it, sometimes you don't. It's all a guessing game. What fun! So back we go once again. Dodge some wheelchairs. I'm a good distance away from that door. This one? Yes. So in we go. And it's cutscene time.
Eileen! Eileen, relax!
Henry? From next door. What are you doing here?
I don't know where to start. There was this strange hole in my room. I saw people getting killed. All these weird other worlds. And I saw you get attacked too.
What are you talking about? I'm supposed to believe that?
But it's true. And there was a kid with you.
I remember now. I was getting ready to go to my friend's party. The boy protected me from the man with the coat. I'm sorry I didn't believe you. I guess there's something wrong with me. I just feel so scared. This place. Where is it anyway?
I don't know either. But I do know that if you get killed here, then you die in the real world too. Anyway, the only way out of here is through that hole.
Okay. Okay, take me with you.
And so now we get to the half of the game that's a lot less enjoyable for me, because the entire thing is one long, drawn-out baggage mission. Joy. Now the thing is, Eileen is an interesting breed of baggage. Let's discuss what that means precisely. So yes, it's time to take a look at our baggage du jour, Eileen Galvin. She's interesting in that she can be a lot more helpful than Maria was, but it's a question of just how much you want her to be helpful. First, the good points. You can equip her with weapons and she will actually help you fight enemies. Also, quite notably, she's immortal. Very handy, right? Well, let's take a look at the bad points. First off, notice that I said immortal, not invincible. She still takes damage from enemies, and the more damage she takes, the harder it is to get one of the better endings. It's very dependent on that. We'll see why later on. In taking damage, she also takes damage from your own attacks, I believe. So that can be a problem. Especially if you're having her help you fight, because then she will very gleefully get in the way of your attacks. Even just in her own fighting, this too can cause problems because she will be obsessive about fighting enemies. She will happily sit there and flail away with her purse at a victim ghost that she cannot hope to beat, and thus keep you from being able to get to the next room with her. Even when there aren't any enemies around, she's severely slow in following you. Want to just run to the next room? Chances are you're going to accidentally leave Eileen behind. The severe injuries she even starts with also make it so that she can't follow you in certain circumstances. For instance, she can't follow you up and down ladders, so you'll get separated from her if you use them. So, yeah. At least as far as baggage goes, she does have some pros to her, so already she's better than Maria. But the cons still outweigh the pros. But hey, you work with what you have. Okay, so that being said, if we want...
This is a nightmare. It can't be happening.
We can be interrupted by Eileen. What I was going to say is we can give her the purse. Thus, she's armed and will help us fight. It can be a nice thing sometimes. Before we do anything here, though. Hey, Eileen, notice anything strange about this room? Anything at all? Nothing? Okay. So we're not alone in here, even though, thankfully, the wheelchairs are gone. Oh. Double attack. Nice. I didn't mean to go through the door. But they seem to be taken care of anyway. So yeah, Eileen cannot run as fast as you, so already that's going to be a pain, since she's injured. At least she has an excuse, unlike a lot of baggage in games. Doesn't make it any more fun, though. That's right, you flail with that purse. You show 'em. So pretty much our only lead is to try taking Eileen to the hole. The world's tiniest save point. And a slow wake-up scene. Oh, we seem to be short one baggage. That didn't sound good. It's one of two main reasons they really make you come back here. The air in this room feels heavy. The ceiling fan is no more, and apparently this was responsible for making us feel healthy because the apartment no longer heals us. Isn't that wonderful? Still nothing going on out here. It's a red envelope. There's a letter and a small key inside. You've seen that world as well, that horrible nightmare. But if you get sucked into it, it's not just a nightmare. Don't get lost in there. If you get pulled in, you'll be killed. But there's still hope. Maybe this small key will guide you. If you've seen the door with the placard set in it, look on the other side of the door, then keep going down to the deepest part of him, and look for the ultimate truth. July 20th, Joseph. Small but ordinary key found in the red envelope. And we have some more notes over here. Go ahead and check those out. Scrap from a diary. Walter Sullivan did kill himself. He died in his prison cell of blood loss after he stabbed himself in the neck with his spoon. Ooh, that takes some dedication. His body was buried in a cemetery just outside his hometown of Silent Hill in an unmarked grave. After that, his name became famous all over the world, and it looked like his string of mass murders was finished at 10 out of 21. But 3 years later, they found a corpse that had 12 out of 21 carved into it. The corpse was from 6 months earlier. In other words, the person was killed 2.5 years after Sullivan committed suicide. The M.O. was exactly the same as Sullivan's, except for one thing. All 10 of Sullivan's victims were found with their hearts cut out and their chest wounds sewn together expertly with thread. On the other hand, the 12 out of 21 victims still had their heart. Naturally, the police think it's a copycat and are proceeding on that basis, but they haven't made any progress and recently discovered victim number 13. This corpse also had their heart intact. The police still haven't even identified a suspect. I've got a working hypothesis. Very few people knew the details of the original crimes and would be able to copy Sullivan's M.O. so precisely. First I'll head to Silent Hill, to the graveyard near that beautiful little lake. Maybe I'll find the answer there. June 11th. And more? How long has it been since I left this room? I can't tell if it's been days or hours. But during that time they found the body of 14 out of 21. I've been having hallucinations lately. I think I'm losing my mind. No date written. And another one, though it's harder to see. The weather that day was very strange. Even though I avoided the earlier storm, there was still a thick fog clinging to everything. Fortunately, that allowed me to avoid being seen and get right to work. The police are still stubbornly acting as if it's just a copycat case, so I figured things probably hadn't been touched here, but I was wrong. I should have come sooner. The cemetery was in such bad condition that it was almost sad. The storm must have raised the sea level. Anyway, that's how it was when I found Walter Sullivan's grave. This diary is pretty damaged around this point, and I can't read anymore. I'm still in shock. There was no body in the grave, and on top of that, written on the coffin were the numbers 11 out of 21. June 14th. So, a bit more exposition. Now the radio isn't even giving us static. That's interesting. So let's go finish Hospital World, shall we? Back in the hole.